My name is Dan Dorval, and I'm President and CEO of Dorval and Cherney Financial Advisors. I am an independent certified financial planner and author of my book, Financial Success for the Rest of Us, Reality-Based Financial Planning for Mainstream America.
Hi, my name is Leah Woodley. I'm an associate financial advisor with Dorval and Cherney Financial Advisors. Our conversations discuss what it means to do quality of life planning in all areas of your life.
Well, as I go through this and I say it's all personal, it's all custom, the first question I get from a nurse is, I know you said that everything is personal, but I went into an online calculator and it says I need 70% of my pre-retirement income to retire comfortably. Does that sound like a good amount to you? And it's just amazing to me to hear that because I just got done talking through that whole process. And yet, that noise of the world around us is so powerful that even though they heard it, even though they even referenced it in their question, they still want that kind of general guideline to feel like they're part of the herd or part of the group. I'm like everyone else instead of being personal and thinking about just me.
Good. Understand what you want before you go into this situation. And one thing I do want to highlight that your clients did was to get a second opinion,
That's a great point.
because had they not, they would have been in something that they did not need. So you always have that opportunity to get a second opinion.
If I were to ask questions to that, car salesman and he's really trying to sell me on a certain car or a certain feature, they're just going to focus on the features and they're going to bypass most of your questions anyway. And that's
Mhm.
how they sell stuff. That's how sales tend to work. So the biggest, most important thing is to understand what you want
Mhm.
ahead of ever talking to somebody about an annuity. And that means that if I'm going to go buy a car, I want to know in general, like what kind of car am I looking for?
Mhm.
What am I trying to accomplish through this? So I don't go in looking for a minivan and I end up buying a two-seater sports car that doesn't fit my life very well. But the salesman was incredibly good at it. So you want to try really hard to buy that particular product based on your need rather than being sold that particular product based on features. When you start thinking from a quality of life perspective rather than a tax perspective, you start to think longer term than just, hey, I saved $1 in taxes today. You start thinking in terms of how am I going to use this money down the road? And when we think that way, having both pre-tax and Roth in some way, shape, or form creates that greater flexibility and options for us to choose. And
I think that is so, so important. Just control what you can control and focus on your goals and the plan that you've established to accomplish those goals. I think sometimes things like an election or things like even the wars that are happening can be a distraction and can add to the noise that we already hear on a daily basis. You have certain commentators saying you should do this, you need to do this, prepare for this. And it's like, just keep your eyes on the prize, which is whatever your quality of life goals are.
she just allows us to do what we're going to do because she trusts in what we're doing.
Hmm.
Now, that might open her up to people that maybe aren't trustworthy, and that could create an issue. But what happens is she has virtually no anxiety about the future. She just knows that she's going to be okay.
Yeah.
That is really this compare and contrast of what we do through quality of life planning is we really help people reduce hopefully even eliminate that anxiety, so that now they can make these big life decisions instead of being paralyzed into inaction and just kind of continuing with status quo. They can start to say, oh, I can see the possibility
Mhm.
of being able to retire, what that looks like for me, not for anybody else, for me, and then they can move forward.